Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Student World Spotlight. You might be noticing that we are a bit earlier today, but starting today, actually, we'll be hosting these lives at this exact time, which is 5 p.m. UTC. If you have no idea what UTC means, it's just let's make it simple. It's at this exact time where you are in the world. All right. So, for example, right now in Central Europe, where I'm based, is 7 p.m. Right. But I'm super curious to know where in the world are you watching us from today? So, as we welcome everybody here today, we have already 48 people connecting with us. This is very exciting. Sakina is here, Anurag, who else? Milagros, lots of people joining us, Kushara. Very happy to welcome you guys today here. As you know, my name is Carlos Branchetti. I'm your host here for the Student World. And today I'm very excited, guys, because we're going to be exploring a university, Full Sail University, which is, how can I explain? Is it for the creative media program? So the arts, technology, entertainment industry programs. So we're going to show how amazing they are. If you're looking for these programs, they are just the right place for you to study. They are located in Florida, in the US, in the city of Orlando, where Disney World is at. So we are very excited for that. But before we invite our guests here today, let me give a little bit more time for all of you to start joining here. Calazin from Colombia. We have people from Mexico joining us. Maha is somewhat, or with people from Iraq. Nice. 8 p.m. in Iraq. Cool. India. Very nice. Well, Nigeria is joining us here today. This is great, guys. Ecuador, Juan from Ecuador. I love how diverse our audience is. All right, folks. Then, without further ado, what I'm going to do. Oh, before we move on, let me just ask you something. If you're coming back, if you have already visited or joined any live of ours that we hosted in the past, if you're coming back, welcome back. If you're joining us for the first time, don't forget to hit subscribe here to our YouTube channel so you can get notified every time we have a new live, and we will be having lots of new lives every week, actually. We have two programs. One is called the Student World Spotlight, which is this very one that we're hosting. And on Wednesdays at this exact same time, we host the Student World Prime Choices. They're a bit different. But they're super cool. So if you're planning to study abroad, please hit subscribe here because we have new lives every week and new university, new institutions. Sometimes we welcome even government agencies. So we give all the information that you need to study abroad. So we hope that the Student World can turn into the go-to place for you, right? And let us help you along the way. All right, then. Oh, some Roberto from Brazil. Nice. Hina is back here. Hi, Hina. Great to see you back again. All right, then. So before we start, guys, let's play a video to start getting to know this amazing university called Full Sail University. You're going to fall in love with their campus. I'm telling you, get ready. All right, so let's take a look at their video. I can tell you, my university did not look like that at all. And I envy that a little bit. But You guys that are still looking for your undergrad and your postgrad abroad, your university can be the one. All right, guys. So just a quick some quick facts about Full Sail University before I invite the guests over. They are considered to be the Harvard of game schools. Yep. Did you know that this year's Oscars they had 140 of their alumni who were actually part of the Oscar nominated films at some on the staff and so on. So they have already their alumni is also part of they're also part of the not only Oscars but Grammys, Emmy Awards, all of that. But there'll be like great people talking about these and much more. So without further ado, let me invite here today. We're going to be talking to Akash. He's representing Full Sail, and also to Sandra. Please welcome Akash and Sandra. Hi guys, how are you doing today?
Doing
Hey, very
great.
well.
Happy to be here.
Great. And we're very happy to welcome you here today because there's so much. I mean, I'm so excited about Full Sail for many reasons. But first, your campus is amazing. The kind of programs that you offer is super cool as well. The whole experience is this. So I wish I could say more things about Full Sail to share with our audience here how amazing you guys are. But that's the reason why you're here. So thank you so much for being here. And so maybe we can start with you guys introducing yourself a little bit. Why don't we start with you, Sandra? What do you do for Full Sail? And yeah, where are you from?
Yeah, I'm part of the international admissions team at Full Sail University, but I am based in the Caribbean now, in Trinidad to be specific. And I'm also an alumni from the Entertainment Business Program of class of 2014.
Nice. And how about you, Akash? Where in the world are you, and what do you do for Full Sail?
Yeah, so thanks for having us, Carlos. But I'm currently in Orlando. I've been here for about 3 weeks now. But I moved to India about 3 years ago. So I've been representing Full Sail from India. But I basically, help students all over the world try and get a glimpse at Full Sail and what Full Sail has to offer. But everything from recruitment to partnering with universities and high schools to try and help students that would be interested in entertainment, media, arts, and tech.
Yeah, cool. All right, guys. So before we start with our conversation here, just want to invite all of you that are watching us today. Here, over 42 people. So Peter, Henry, Sakina, Turka, everybody, all of you guys, please send your questions, your comments. This is an opportunity. Full Sail. Akash and Sandra will be happy to answer all your questions. They will be here live for the next hour to answer everything that you want to know about Full Sail. So use this time to talk to them. I always like to say that sometimes when we try to get, we want to, for example, we want to get in touch with someone from, we have a problem. I bought something on Amazon and I'm having an issue. Then I call there and it's never the right department. They keep transferring you to someone else. So sometimes it's hard to find the right people, right? But in this case, Sandra and Akash, they are the right people if you want to know things about Full Sail University. So enjoy this time. Send your questions. We're gonna address all of them throughout the whole life. All right, guys. So first things first, Akash, can you give like a quick intro on for people that have never heard about Full Sail? Who is Full Sail?
Sure. So Full Sail University, as mentioned, we're located rather in Orlando, Florida, just outside of, your major theme parks such as Disney or Universal, where Full Sail is actually geographically located in a city called Winter Park, which is just steps outside of Orlando. But to put it into perspective, kind of like it's a 5-minute cab drive to downtown Orlando. But the city itself is it's very artsy, very nice lakes, trees, rivers. It's a good environment for you to want to just hang out outside of school hours. But we focus in everything entertainment, media, arts, and design and technology related areas. And what's interesting about Full Sail is that we've been doing that since the very beginning. So we don't focus in areas such as, general areas of engineering or medicine or general business or things like that. So we're more focused on students that kind of have an idea of what they're interested in and what they want to do in the future. So we're kind of like that stepping stone that gives them the skill set to be able to be successful in that in those industries. So yeah, I mean, it's a broad overview of Full Sail. I can go on for days and days about the institution, but I think what's important today is that we give people the information that they want, right? Rather than me just going on and on about the institution. But all in all, it's, we have associates, we have certificates, associates, bachelor's and master level programs at the institution, which can be taken fully online, fully on campus, or a flex option, which is kind of like a hybrid option where you start online and then complete on campus.
Yeah, and I just wanted to address some of the questions because for people like guys, some of you are asking some about programs in sociology and that kind of stuff. Like Susan, Full Sail does not offer sociology. They're like they offer programs in the creative industry, arts, entertainment industry, and so on. What I'm going to ask is for before we move on, just to our team here to put the image of the programs they offer, guys. If you can put it here on the screen, so just we can get like the people that are watching us here can get a good idea. Yeah, that's the one. So as you can see there, I just want to mention this because otherwise there are people like they'll be interested in other programs. They might wait until the end. So just a broader reveal there, Sandra. So these are the different areas, different programs offered by Full Sail University. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. A lot of them are available on campus. Some are available online. And like Akash mentioned, there's short-term certificate programs, there are bachelor's, and there are master degrees as well.
Cool. All right. So music and recording, games, art and design, film and television, technology, media and communications, business and sports. So all of you watching us, these are the programs we'll be exploring today. So if you are interested in other fields, maybe this is not for you. So this is a friendly heads up. So, but yeah, stay with us if you want to learn more about this one, guys. I just want to point it out. Yeah, we can take that back because it's covering us. Good. I was like, before we do this lives, I personally do a little bit of studying about Full Sail. And I was impressed with some of the rankings that I saw there. I have it here with me. It was ranked the first on the top 10 animation bachelors in the US, named one of the top 50 film schools, was one of the only 6 US-based schools on the top 50 creative media and entertainment schools, colleges in the world, and named one of the best music schools. And you have lots of alumni working on Emmy and Oscars winning productions. Can it get any better than that? Sandra, you have studied there yourself, right? Can you share a little bit about your experience?
It's like such a unique experience. The moment that you step on campus, you just feel so inspired to just work on anything and everything that you can get your hands on, just because you're surrounded by creatives. The environment on its own on campus is just very focused on getting you in the zone, and it's very hands-on. So I think that's why those programs are like ranked so high, because our students are not just sitting in class and listening to theories and just lectures. They're spending time in the studios, in and like on and off campus. Like the students are getting hands-on opportunities to really build that professional experience. I mean, like even down to the fact that your class hours are if you're already a professional in the industry. So sometimes like film students have class at 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning, just because that's how it's like in the real world. So, I mean, I think that's a big reason why those programs are ranked the way they are, just because of the way that they've structured the campus, the experience, other creatives being there. So it's amazing. And if you're really a creative and look at that kind of experience, I would definitely recommend you to check out Full Sail.
I just wanted to bring that point that you raised, because I remember when someone told me that like years ago, and I found it such a, such a smart idea, because you can you repeat that, because you're like, this was the which program exactly was that was film, I think it was film,
Film, yeah,
yeah.
film. Sometimes music production has those late night hours as well. Usually that's when you're creative the most if you're in that industry, but yeah.
Yeah, so basically, some days you would have like classes during like 2 a.m. or something, or not actually classes, but can you share a little bit about that? Because I found it like amazing.
Yeah, like the labs. So you have your class time where you are going to spend time with your lecturers and your other peers, but then you have like the lab times where now you're really doing the hands-on stuff. You're working on the projects that are assigned to you that month. So, I mean, that's up to you to really take advantage of that time, put in the hours. If you have to put in extra hours just to kind of, stand out or learn a little bit more about what you're interested in, it's really up to you to take advantage of it. But the students, yeah, like I've met parents of fellow alumni. I'm like, they're like, yeah, I remember my kid texted me at 3 o'clock in the morning saying, hey, I'm going to class, and they just were blown away, because they're like, they as a parent weren't expecting that, but they were so excited for their student because they knew this is like what their student is passionate about. And now that they're getting like that real world experience, it's like they know that their investment is worth it because they're really getting the full experience.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just Akash, it just serves as a very practical example of how like the teaching methodology is very real world ready, right? They really prepare the students to be ready for the real world. This in this example, even like to, okay, like guys, on the when you start like working, you're gonna have to do this long shifts and stuff. So let's start like going through this, experience this. But on that, Akash, can you just talk a little bit about the different areas and programs offered by Full Sail, and perhaps if you offer also in all different levels, like undergrad, postgrad, which levels you offer, just to give the audience like a good overview of the programs, the degrees offered, and so on.
Yeah, of course. So I like to think of Full Sail as it has a little bit for everybody. I see some questions here about the engineering part. So while we don't have programs that are solely like electrical engineering or mechanical engineering, we have programs such as, simulation visualization, which I like to think of as a mix or blend between mechanical and electrical, with the addition of augmented reality, virtual reality, kind of like new age type of degree programs. But yeah, everything from art. So if we talk about art and design, we're talking computer animation or digital arts and design, graphic design, that kind of stuff. And then film. One thing to know about Full Sail is we're not a performing arts school. So we won't teach you how to act, or we won't teach you how to play instruments directly, right? It's not part of the curriculum. While kids do learn that, it's not part of the curriculum. We focus more on the production side, more on the hands-on side. So film, we've got music. Under music, we have things like recording arts, which is like a sound engineering degree. We have music production, audio production, and a show production, I believe we have, which is a really cool program for me because it just sounds like fun. If I was to go back to school, I'd probably go back to school for show production, like a lot of touring, live sound engineering, lights, camera, action, that kind of thing. And it not only for that type of setting, but also corporate type settings, for functions and larger type of conferences and so forth, the audio visuals and things like that. We have an IT, technology, which focuses more on towards, we have cybersecurity, we have information technology, we have game development, which also falls under our game halo, but it is a computer science / engineering degree, game development, and then we have a general computer science degree. So, I mean, there's a lot of programs that we have. And as mentioned earlier, we have certificate programs for those that want to kind of get a feel. We have associate's degrees, bachelor's degrees, and master's degrees for students to be able to, take the time and if they're interested in building a career, right, around this, kind of like what Sandra said about the hands-on stuff and the labs at 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. in the morning. I feel like I believe everything Full Sail does is to prepare kids for the day after graduation, right? Because let's be
Yeah.
honest, it's all about experience nowadays, especially in this industry. Nobody's asking, where did you graduate, or what have you done? What grades did you get? What can you do, right? Show me what you can do.
Yeah.
So I think everything that Full Sail does kind of just uh, circles back to that. How do we make our grads most successful from day one?
Cool. Yeah. And the other thing that I found out about Full Sail, I also didn't know about this, but I think it's a very nice advantage when compared to other film and media schools, is that all the programs that you guys offer are actually they have an accelerated version. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but usually programs that would take 4 years or something at Full Sail, they take less. Can you explain a little bit about that and what's the benefit for the students?
I think I'll let Sandra take that one since she's lived through it.
Go ahead, Sandra.
Well, a fun fact is that I actually went to a traditional university before I went to Full Sail. And when I decided like this wasn't for me anymore, and I really wanted to pursue my passion and discovered Full Sail, that was like a huge selling point for me, because like I knew I didn't want to waste any more time in a university. Like I wanted to get my degree. The fact that they were doing the hands-on approach was a highlight for me, because I'm not the type of student that can just sit in class and listen to a lecture all day long. Like I will fall asleep in the back of the class if that's the case. So the fact that there was hands-on, and then that I was gonna graduate so quickly was like huge for me, because I was no longer going to be spending like a whole semester in one class. It was on a month-to-month basis. So I felt like, okay, I can like really focus on this class this month, give it my all, and then the next month it's something completely new, which I felt like just really worked for me. And I think a lot of the other students that were there with me, that was like a huge highlight for everyone overall. It was like everyone's ready to work. Like we're all passionate about what we're doing. We want to get the experience while we're in school and get out into the workforce as soon as possible. So that was like a huge plus for, I think, anybody that goes to Full Sail. Like that's one of the major selling points.
Yeah. And Akash, correct me if I'm wrong again, but the degrees start every month. Is that true?
There we go. Yeah, we do have every single degree program at every level kind of starts every month, and there are a few reasons behind it, but I think the most important reason is that students don't have to wait, right? If you want to start in January, I want to start in January, because not all students finish high school and then decide to go directly into university. There are ample students out there that want to start, take a break, want to start after that. So every single month we have an intake. Another reason is with every single month a degree starts, every single month there's also a graduation ceremony, right? So we're releasing graduates, these professionals, into the industry month by month, rather than lumping 5 to 10,000 kids every year into a specific industry, saturating it, right? So I think that's a huge benefit as well. But yeah, it's kind of like easy go. If you want to start in January, start in January. If you want to wait until August, you can wait until August. But that's every single degree program at every level.
Well,
Keeps
that's
the class sizes smaller as well. Sorry, that's another
yeah,
benefit.
that's what flexibility really means, right? Because it really is based on your own plans. I
Mhm.
remember when I was applying to the place where I did my master's, and I had two options only. It could be only January or September. So if I and none of them were actually good for me. So, but I had to pick one, and if I missed the January, I would have to wait until September to start it. So, the fact that this is the first time I hear something like this from a university. So, Really, really impressive. But yeah, so Sandra, I want to actually get your experience on this, because the again on the learning methodology, we're talking a lot about like Full Sail. It's a very hands-on thing. They really get you real world ready, right? But in some of the courses, you do the way you learn is based on it's project based learning, right? So can you share, if you remember, can you share a project that you had to do in your course that you really liked, that you really.
There was quite a few. I mean, the class, I think one of my top 5 favorite classes was the event management course, because that's pretty much what I ended up doing. My husband and I have our own events company. We do like an annual rock festival in the Caribbean. So that was like a huge class for me, because like I knew I wanted to work with events and just working with like live music and that kind of experience. So a lot of the stuff there, our main project for that class was to pick a city in the US. And I mean, of course, you have to find out about all like the permits and stuff like that, how to launch your own festival within that city, and how you would like, generate revenue, like what type of bands you would book, like everything that you would have to put into, even getting sponsors. And a lot of those things, that at least like my sponsorship proposal that our instructor shared with us, like the template, I still use it to this day. I just customize it when I'm meeting with new sponsors, and depending on the event that we're throwing, it's something that I still like use till this day. And I remember another project that we did when I was at Full Sail was March Madness was happening in Orlando that year. So our class got to go and like set up the Amway Center and like set up all the goodie bags for all the athletes coming in, and like doing all like the behind the scenes, getting like their locker rooms ready, getting all the signage ready for people to like know where to go. So those were like a lot of different things, because you're meeting other people within that industry. So that was like a huge thing for us as well, was the networking. So like not only are you getting the hands-on experience, but like you're meeting other people in the industry doing what you want to do in the future, and you're building those relationships. And sometimes you don't get those opportunities in other schools because you're so like in the classroom all the time. And that wasn't the case at Full Sail. So like I took advantage of any opportunity that I could like jump on a project that was on campus or off campus. I took it because I knew I was going to meet other people who were doing it, and I would be able to connect that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, now let's talk a little bit about the campus, which is amazing. But actually, I want to play another video that we have from you guys that really shows the campus. It's a bit long. It's a 2 minute something. But I think it's really worth, and all of you, I think you're going to love it. All right, so let's take a quick look. This is unbelievable. I have no words, guys. By the way, I wanted to ask all of you that are watching us, like, how cool is that? Like from 0 to 10, unbelievable. This is like everything, like our creative minds, they have like a, I can't even describe it. But let's talk a little bit about this campus because we have some pictures here, and I would like to put some pictures and ask you guys like to talk a little bit more about those areas of the campus. So let's start with the first picture. And yeah, so I'm just gonna ask you to talk a little bit about the campus while we put some pictures on. Would that be okay, Akash?
Yeah. So if I'm to talk about this picture in specific, this kind of touches on simulation and visualization. This, I believe, is a picture of the Fab Lab, where students may be working on a particular project. I am
Cool.
not familiar with this specific project, but it gives you a look into our Fab Lab and what our students in our simulation and visualization bachelor's degrees
Yeah.
are learning, right?
Yeah, let's try the next one. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, what about that? Is that a which program would that be? Most
That would
likely.
be a computer animation program.
Cool. Yeah, so that's a classroom. Is that the classroom where all the monitors and all that?
Yeah. So these are our classrooms, folks. They're not typical classrooms. This is where students learn. This is where students apply the information that they've learned. And you'll notice that the technology is second to none. It's all the technology, hardware, software that Full Sail uses is at par to industry standards. So we want to make sure that kids, students, not kids, our graduates, our professionals, when they go out into the industry, they don't come in contact with a piece of technology that they do not know how to operate.
Yeah, let's take another a look at another one. How about that one?
That is Sandra. Is that the
This is Full
the
Sail Live, but I think it was when they were doing that tournament with the high schools, right? The gaming
yeah?
tournament.
It was the gaming tournament, correct?
Ooh,
Tech
nice.
Fest. I think we call it Tech Fest.
Yeah, moving on. Let's take a look. Let's pass some of them. So that one is unbelievable. No, that's a film set.
Yeah, that's the film backlot. So Full Sail has its own backlot. No need to leave the campus to go shoot your videos, and the facades that you can be in New York, you can be in Boston. So there's multiple different locations in our backlot for you to film your production.
Yeah, that one is super cool. Let's take a look at that again. Same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice, really nice. All right, let's move on. Yeah, I'm assuming same thing.
Same
Uh,
thing. Cool thing about these though is that those doors actually open, right? So it's not just I don't
wall.
know the technical, yeah, wall. You can actually open those doors and walk through them, which is
Ooh,
super cool
nice.
for shooting the set. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Uh, is that like a gaming kind of competition?
Yes, it's called the Orlando Health Fortress. It's the home of our esports team, the Armada. It's one of the largest esports arenas on an educational campus, and it hosts competitions between Full Sail's team, the Armada, with domestic teams as well as international teams. I know we had a esports competition with the Bangkok University last year or the year before, which was super cool.
Yeah. All right, next one. That one is beautiful as well. It's kind of some kind of festival. Is that almost like I'm? Is that a graduation? Oh, don't tell me it is. Otherwise, I'm applying myself.
No, so this is Sandra is going to be a part of this in a few years, so I'll let her talk about this one.
Yeah, so this is what's called our Hall of Fame week, which is like our version of Spirit Week at Full Sail. And I mean, this is just like a little peek. I mean, what happens during that week is amazing. I mean, you have alumni that are getting inducted into our Hall of Fame. We have just alumni from different parts of our degree programs that come and do sessions with their students. I mean, if anybody knows, I mean, you have producers that end up on, you have celebrities that end up on campus just because they work with our alumni and they kind of come in to just support their sessions. So I think that year there was actually a producer, Timberland, was on campus doing a session on like music production and like launching your own record studio and that kind of thing. I remember when I was on campus, Nelly Furtado was on campus because her husband, who was also her producer, was getting inducted into Hall of Fame. So I mean, you just see a ton of just random celebrities you don't expect to find on campus just because of everything that's happening. You know, students from all degree programs are getting, you know, info sessions. I remember when I was there, the comedian Rob Schreiner was doing an info session on his career and being in the film industry. And he packed out like 3 rooms alone, and people were really just trying to get into his info session. So it's a wild week, and it's a very informative week. It's just fun. It's a lot of things are happening that weekend. I think that's the ceremony for the induction of our featured grads for the Hall of Fame.
Cool.
There's fireworks and the whole thing.
Yeah, and the cool thing, guys, is that you're seeing lots of people with short sleeves, t-shirts, and all that. I'm not gonna guess it's only in July there in that picture, but in Florida, the weather doesn't get that bad, you know, as in some other parts of the U.S. So you got even like the tropical, like kind of weather, which is pretty cool, especially with that amazing campus with so many outdoor like features and all that, right? But yeah, let's take a look at some just 1 or 2 more, and then we'll move on. Yep. So that one, which program would that be, Cash?
It could be a few of our programs, but I think it's a basic art program. So anybody that's into our art and design halo may start off here, but it's the beginning stages of your art, right before tech is introduced,
Cool.
going into pencil and paper shading and so forth.
Fundamentals that you're learning.
Nice. And last but not least, what do we have? All right, that's the music, most likely.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Akash.
Yeah, it's one of our studios. We have a few on campus, but yeah, I mean, if you look at the studio itself, you get music fans out there, or people that have dabbled in some sort of engineering or productions would know more than I would know. But I know it's very fancy and very up
It
to
looks
date.
like.
Yeah, and I know everything talks to everything in a technical way. So those folks in the back that are playing instruments are able to, be controlled on this side, or able to see the screens. And I have no idea what all those buttons do. But it's really cool to be in there. And we have a few of these studios.
Absolutely. So, Susanna, no, if you can put back the picture, guys, put back the picture there. Yeah. So just to clear that, those students, they're not like studying how to play those instruments and so on, right? That's not the focus. It's not a performing arts school. They're most likely like learning how to like do the how can I say this? Usually, if it's film, I would say behind the camera. But in here, is that correct? They're not learning how to play the instruments, but they are learning how the whole production part.
Yeah, they're learning more the engineering, how to record, how to like mix and master, what the musicians are doing on the other end.
Cool. Yeah, super interesting. If it was for me, I would keep looking at these pictures. Okay, maybe just one more. We'll go one more, and then that's it. We move on because we have some questions here. Maha is asking about like the fees for international students. We're gonna get to that part very quickly, but this is pretty cool, isn't it? This is like kind of a VR simulation. What program would that be, guys?
Yeah, this would go back into our simulation and visualization program. It's one of my favorite programs. And this is one of my favorite places on campus. It's so cool, so many toys that are future based, right? So like folks that there's tons of industries, if not all industries, are using some aspects of what is taught in this program. So very cool. Yeah, like you mentioned, it's virtual reality, no augmented reality. And some really cool things that these kids have done with our professors to help help children, in need, it's super cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, then. So the campus is amazing. I think there's no question about that. All right, everyone. But now I want to talk to you a little bit about like the employability part, because many of the things that we were covering here, it was like how the teaching methodology is set to prepare the students to the real world, to the industry, the entertainment industry, and so on. Throughout the process, while they are still students, what does the university do? What's the extra mile Full Sail does to help people with their careers, let's say?
You want me to take that one, Akash? Yeah, because I mean, I had the experience with it too, and I mean, I still have a relationship with my advisors. So Full Sail has a department called Career Development. And the moment you step onto campus and you're officially a student at Full Sail, you get assigned an advisor from that department. And I mean, it's up to you to continue building that relationship, but like they're like your cheerleader all the way until even after you graduate. So while you're at school, like they're helping you update your resume just to make sure it's something that stands out in the market. When you start looking for employment, they help you prepare for job interviews. I've seen students go in with their outfits to see like what outfit should I wear for this interview, like different things like that. But aside from that, like a month prior to you graduating from Full Sail is where you meet with your advisor to now talk about like what type of job opportunities are you looking for, are open to like accept, where are you willing to relocate? So that way, when you do graduate, like they're constantly sending you job leads that they're getting through their department, based on the areas that you said you're willing to relocate, the fields that you want to specialize in. So that's how I ended up getting my first job, was through career development. And it was with EDC Orlando, which was like huge EDM festival out here. And that was my first job, and I got it through career development. And so they're always, and I'm still getting job leads till this day. Like I go onto my, my old email and I'm still getting a ton of job leads from that department. So there is that huge support system as long as you're taking advantage of it. And even after you graduate, like they'll support you with anything else. So like even when I've been working on my own projects and we're looking for people, like they're there to help me also find, other students who are looking for opportunities as well. So there's really like a close network right there with that department.
And there's also like Full Sail also host events on
Yes.
campus, perhaps, right? With the big players from
Yeah.
the industry. Can you share, like, have you attended one of those? How was it? What can you tell
I personally never got to attend one of those, but I know that they have them very constantly. You see them on their Facebook page, or as an alumni or currently student, you'll get the notification via email, like there's going to be a job fair, and they have the big ballers come in, and you get to meet these different executives from big companies, and it's really just like a huge job fair, and it's on campus. And I mean, it's from every degree program that you can imagine. You can just find an opportunity at that event.
Yeah, that's really nice, guys. Really, really nice. Akash, now let's talk about how all this dream would cost on average for the student. Let's talk numbers, right?
Got
So,
it.
what can you tell us, or to the all these folks that are watching us here today? What can you tell us about the average cost for the tuition fees for international students, and also if is there any kind of financial aid that those students could pursue?
Yeah, sure. So our tuition varies from degree program to degree program, but if we're talking about undergraduate programs, bachelor level programs, um, there's three different levels, but like our entertainment business, our music business, this would fall under the $67,000. Now, remember, folks, that the price that I'm giving you is for the entire degree program. It's not per year. So the entire bachelor's degree, if you were to take a media communications, music business, entertainment business, that would be $67,000. Now, if you would go towards more of our technical programs, such as computer animation or film, those degree programs would be $89,000, again, for the entire undergraduate program. if we're to talk about graduate programs, those range also. So we have three that are on campus. The game design master's degree would run $36,000 for the entire master's. The film production is the same, $36,000 for the master's program, and the entertainment business would be $38,000 for the master's program.
And how
Yeah.
long is the undergrad and
So
the master's programs?
yeah, so the master's programs are done in 12 months. But what and the bachelor's degrees can be done in as little as 20 months. But what's very important to understand here is that our bachelor's degrees, you would still gain 120 credit hours, roughly the same amount of credit hours that you would gain at a 4-year institution. So when comparing prices, right, it's important to compare that it's not just the time, right? Because in the US, a bachelor's degree is not given per time, it's given per credit hour. If you meet the credit hour, if you meet the credit hours, then you would be able to gain your bachelor's degree. So it's in that sense. So yeah, there's that. And then we mentioned international education not being the easiest, right? It is a burden financially for parents mostly. So Full Sail does offer scholarships for international students, and it can range depending on the start date, depending on the program, but anything from to a full ride, 0 to a full ride scholarship. So some of our students that would be interested in any of our technology programs at the undergraduate level, we do have certain scholarships that would provide a full tuition and technology scholarship, so they wouldn't have to pay for their tuition or their launch box, which is a laptop and the software that they would require to complete the degree program.
Yeah, so basically books and supplies are included, right, in the tuition. And
Yeah,
so that's, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Books, study materials, laptops, yeah, just everything. It's all included within tuition. The only
Oh,
thing that's not included would be your living expenses, of course.
yeah. But even, okay, so let's say you can already, you can save a lot on those things, all those supplies, computer stuff. You can also, if you do in less time, right? The let's say the undergrad, if you do it in 20 months, as you mentioned, as being the fastest, you can save a lot of money in living costs as well, right? Which is a big part of the general expenses when it comes to studying abroad. Also, the other thing that I found out about you guys is that the price is actually locked, so it doesn't change from year to year. It doesn't raise from year to year, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So, I'll use UCF as an example only because I was enrolled there for a few months. But typically, traditional universities, they have a semester type setting, and every semester, typically the cost per credit hour will go up, and it's normal across traditional institutions. But at Full Sail, if you're to start a program today, and this is the price of that program, even if tuition goes up, you would not be affected by that raise in tuition. So yeah, you're right. It's locked in. It's easier for parents that way as well to budget, right? Because
Yeah.
I remember I used to call my dad every semester, every 4 months. Dad, I need $1,000 for books. Right, and it can add up over the duration of 4 years. So I like, it's easier for parents this way. Hey, I know how much I'm going to spend, and there's no surprises, if you will.
Yeah. And we have a user here asking if there are any extra fee, like for insurance, exam fee. I'm not sure if what does he mean by exam, but there would be other costs involved in the whole experience, right? Can you name a few of them? Actually, before let me ask you to talk a little bit more about the application process, and then on that, when you talk about the visa, and also you can perhaps mention some of the other costs that they would have.
Yeah. So the application process at Full Sail is pretty simple in terms of what needs to be done and what needs to be submitted. The first step of applying to Full Sail is an admissions interview. And the reason being is because we're not looking for, right, what's on paper. We're looking for an individual. Who are you? What's your story? What are your goals? And based on this, it's easier for us to say, hey, we really feel Full Sail can help you, or you know what, no, Full Sail's probably not the best institution for you. So post that interview, both Full Sail, both us and the student knows if it's 100% the best fit for them. If so, then there are certain documents that you would need to provide depending on the level of degree that you're choosing. So previous education, transcripts and diploma. Some programs require entry essays, and then a copy of your passport. Language, we require language for countries that English is not the primary language. So we do accept IELTS and TOEFL, IELTS being a 6 and the TOEFL being a 79 overall. And currently, because of the pandemic, we've been accepting the Duolingo as well.
All
if
right.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Cool. Suzanne, from your student experience, what tips would you give to students when applying to study at Full Sail?
So I was pretty much I went through the same process that Akash just mentioned. I did the interview, which I felt very more comfortable with because I knew in the past my grades hadn't been the best just because I wasn't that traditional student. So whenever I did the interview, I mean, they really wanted to know more about you, not only like the academic side, but like what have you done out of school, right? Like, are you involved in your youth group at church, or like, do you do any type of like, you know, community projects or anything like that? That's things that they really care to know about. And I think it's not only Full Sail. I think a lot of universities are also now more interested in knowing like what are you doing outside of school and not only on your academics, just to see like what type of person you are and if you fit really into the environment and culture at, you know, the campus that you're interested in attending. So I mean, if you have opportunities now to just get involved in different things in areas that you're interested in, just to fill it out and just figure out, is this something you really want to do in the future and take it to the next level? If you have the time now, like, do it. I know that a lot of us are still in lockdown, so there's a lot of free sessions that are available online, just kind of up your skill sets, like explore all those different alternatives just to kind of give you a better idea of like, what do you want to do in the future, and see, you know, if Full Sail is a better suit for you, or maybe another university offers something more towards your liking.
Yeah, cool. All right, guys, we're approaching the end of today's live. But to finish up, I just wanted to ask about what to you, Sandra, and to you, Akash. You're there right there, but Sandra has lived there. What can students expect from living in Florida, and more specifically in Orlando?
You know, I'll take a quick 2 minutes on this first, only because I've been I was in India for the past 3 years, and I haven't been back to the US in a while because of the pandemic and everything that's going on. But what's really cool is when I got to Florida a month ago, yeah, a little bit over a month ago, it's like there is no COVID here. It's amazing. I mean, outside of people wearing, the few people wearing masks, it's business as usual, and it feels so good.
Yeah.
Besides the whole COVID thing, I think it's a great place to spend a few years, especially while you're in school. The weather's good for the most part. You know, it doesn't snow here. It's big, it's green. There's lots of fun things to do, you know, as far as theme parks, and downtown Orlando is pretty cool as well. And the living area outside of Full Sail is amazing as well. Like, you know, Winter Park area is really nice. Lots of restaurants, museums, parks, lakes, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I love it. I love it.
How about you, Sandra? What can you tell about what can students expect about living in Orlando?
I second everything that Akash just said, because I loved living in Orlando. I lived about 3 years before I moved away, and I've been coming in and out of Orlando for the last month too. So I can definitely say that what Akash is saying with COVID, it doesn't feel like there's COVID, because in Trinidad, like the restrictions are still super high. Then you get here and everyone's kind of just chilling and living their best life. And I was able to get my vaccines out here, which was super smooth. Just proof of identification, and it was like an easy process as well. And yeah, I mean, if you're someone who likes music and festivals, like there's a ton of that going on all the time. Maybe not so much right now. I think like slowly it'll get back to it a lot sooner than a lot of other states maybe. But when I was a student a couple years ago, like there was always festivals, concerts, art exhibits, like anything that you can think of. I mean, Orlando has a ton of entertainment available to students, and a lot of free stuff too, because you're on a budget when you're in college. So there's a lot of free stuff to do as well, So it's great. I loved it.
Definitely. All right, guys. So we just got the last question. Just wanted to ask you this very quickly, because is a question: is there any telecom broadcasting and engineering programs?
Nothing that focuses, specifically in that area. No. We don't have anything in that. We have journalism and we have engineering. To be honest, to be very frank, I'm not sure, exactly what telecom broadcasting engineering consists of. To be frank with you, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, but Ibrahim, thanks for your question. What you can do is I'm going to ask the team to put the link of the Full Sail website. You can go there and take a look at the programs they have. We talked about it in the beginning, but yeah, feel free to go there. Not only you, but every one of you guys that are watching us here. After this, go there, go to the website, take a look, and a little bit more read a bit about the programs, and then you can get in touch with Akash and Sandra. By the way, let me put here the contact information. So if you like what you heard today, and if you want to get more information, if you're really interested in studying at this amazing place, you can get in touch with Akash and Sandra. The contact information, I'm going to ask the team to put it here on the screen, please. And also to put it on the chat. All right, there you go. Yeah, so global reach at fullsail.com. Get in touch, guys. Akash, thank you so much for joining us here today. Sandra, thank you so much. So nice to have you here. And it was really, really nice. Hope to see you again in another episode.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for having us. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, everyone. We have here 16 people watching us. Nowadays, many brands are coming to these social medias, and they're only focusing on, how can I reach more and more people and all that. Sorry. But here at the Student World, we're not like that. This is not my priority. This is not our priority here. It doesn't matter if we have 2 people watching. It doesn't matter if we have 1,000 people watching. We do this because we know that there are people out there that join our community on social media that are interested in this kind of programs, which are not very popular. It's not like engineering or law or IT, but since we have at least one person interested in that, that's enough reason for us to go there and to bring you content. And we brought you some of the best for that. So I hope you have enjoyed today. If you're really interested in studying these programs, Full Sail is a really amazing university. So thank you so much. Oh, sorry, I have to cough a little bit. Guys, I caught a cold last week. Not COVID, thankfully, but yeah, caught a cold. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching us here today. Again, we at the Student World, we do everything we can to help you pursue your study abroad plans. Don't forget to follow us. I don't actually like the word follow. Just don't forget to join our community on Instagram at the Student World. We're always posting news and useful content to help you study abroad. All right. Also here on YouTube as well. Don't forget to subscribe and give us your like if you like what you watch here today. All right, then. And also, if you know people that are interested in studying abroad, don't forget to share the student world with your friends and family. We're here to help, and the more people we can help, the better it is. All right. My name is Carlos Ranchetti. That was another episode of the Student World Spotlight. Thank you so much, Maha. Thank you so much, Ibrahim, and everybody else, Katyan, Christian, and all of you who have stayed with us until now. The student world, whatever you want to study, we know how to get you there.